Good morning, folks. Larry here, Vans, Cars, and Trucks, Brooksville, Florida. We've had a couple segments here just recently talking about the myth of the car business, urban legend, so to speak. Fun things, fun topics, and I hope you enjoyed some. We did the first one, which is, that down payment you got was enough to cover the cost of the car. I guess it's all profit now, right? Kind of a neat little story on that, how funny that was. And second one was, man, I was just ready to pay off my car, and they came and repoed it. What a shyster outfit. Again, I'm sure it happened to somebody sometime, some point, but in reality, that's an odd one. But number three, here we have this morning, which is going to be a topic that everybody in the world knows more about than I do, because I've only been doing it for 30 years, and that is car auctions. Most people will not think about it, but they think when they come in, where do we get our cars? And usually it's a male that has maybe a little bit of a macho attitude, and he comes in and says something like, I guess you buy all these at the car auction, didn't you? And he says it in a disparaging manner, which means to him that they're all no good cars. He had limited knowledge. He did have some knowledge, I guess, because he thought about it. But in reality, almost every car you have out there in the world today, at some point in its life, is going to go through a car auction. It might be very soon for that car. Let's see, today's Friday. On Tuesday, there is an auction an hour and a half away from here that every car that rolls through that block is no more than 4 years old. The average mileage on that car is about 22,000 miles, and there's thousands of them at that particular facility, because car auctions, just like car businesses or any business, they have their own flavor. And that particular auction just does business primarily on newer vehicles. If it's more than 4 years old, it just doesn't belong there. The opposite might take place too. A car auction that might be what I call a junker's auction. You're lucky if it has a battery that will turn it on. And that's the flavor of that particular auction. Then you have the blend, just like a blend of every other business, that you might have a little bit of good and a little bit of not so good. I consider that us here. We try to get the best that we can for our customer, but also some of those cars that we have on the back line, they may be dogs. And maybe they're going to, but there's also an expression in this business, which is there's an ass for every seat. So for you and I, and for most people, we want something on that front line that we can have with a warranty and a guarantee and a good Carfax and all that good stuff. Somebody out there needs that dog because they just need a vehicle to fill in for 3 months, 6 months. They know it's going to be all but perfect. That car would normally, for us, would probably go to the auction, but that doesn't mean that every auction car is going to be bad. At many facilities, it only takes 35 to 40 seconds for the car to roll through the block. The car that's in front might be a 2018 or 19 with 1,500 or 3,000 miles on it, and right behind it is going to be a 20, 25-year-old car with 200,000 miles, a flat tire, smoking out the tailpipe, and barely make it through the block. They're all going to get sold, and they all find that home. That you might say, well, there must be something wrong with that front car. Why is it at the auction? Well, guess what? We took in a trade last week. In fact, we did it here, a little YouTube segment, partial on it, 2016 Chevy 1500, beautiful LT truck. Guess what? We've had it for almost a month. We've had some nibbles, but guess what? We need some minivans and SUVs to fill some voids. That thing is going to go to the block next week. And we're going to probably buy 1 or 2 minivans with the money that we get off of that. Is that a bad truck? Absolutely not. It's a great truck, fabulous truck. But also, we need to turn inventory as well. We might have had 2 or 3 red cars, and then you get another red car in trade. Do you really need 4? The red car was perfect, nothing really wrong with it. Yeah, they all need a little bit of fixing up here and there, a little bit of paint work, a little, you're going to make the best of the car. But did we need to get rid of it? We only need to get rid of it because of the fact that we had 3 or 4 red ones already of the same make, model, category, whatever. So we're going to move it on. So again, car auctions are just part of the industry. They're not bad at all. It's just part of the business. Can you go to the car auction? Most are dealers only, and there's a reason for that, but I'll get into that later. There's some are public, but should you go and should you spend your money? I'll let you decide because we all have different risk comfort levels. But I'll say it this way. Years ago, I was personally buying about 500 cars a year. Out of those ones that we bite every week, we bring them back. Did we keep everyone and decide everyone? Absolutely not, because some we decided they weren't worthy for what we were thinking of them, for what we needed them for. So we might take a loss on some of those. I don't mind taking a loss on occasion because I know my odds are going to be favorable because we buy a lot. But you as an individual, you don't need to take a loss on your one car. You need to have something that you can have some faith in, that it's going to go, do the miles, do the time. You're going to spend $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 in 30 seconds and make that decision? I don't think so. That's probably not a wise decision on your part. The car dealer, the car buyer, yeah, let him do that. Let him gamble. That's what he's making a business out of, that gamble, and we do gamble. It's a gamble every day. But to you, we don't want to put that gamble out there. We're going to bring it in, we're going to check it out, we're going to vet it through the system physically for the mechanicals, and then we're going to go ahead and put the cosmetics into it that we need to have. A car that you're going to want to have at the end of the day, because when you have that car, you're going to remember where you got it from, how it served you, how it served your needs, and hopefully come back again. And that's what we're about. So getting that car at the car auction is maybe not the best idea for you, although it's part of the business for us. I had a call at 8 o'clock this morning. One of our buyers, because again, I don't buy as much as I used to in the past. We have relationships for many, many years with good buyers. One called at 8 o'clock. He buys mostly at auction, some at bid sale, but he was at a new car dealership early in the morning, driving a truck, and he called me and says, Larry, I got a truck here. I want to send you some pictures. He sent me some pictures. Within about 30 seconds, I bought the truck sight unseen. It'll be here in a couple hours. 2013 Chevy 2500 HD with the 6.0. And I haven't even seen the truck yet. Spent $8,500 on the trust that I had in that phone call, which we'll talk about later, because really, that's going to be our next topic, which is trust and relationships, which is really what this business is all about. Thanks.